Hello everyone, my name is Jordan, and for the second part of this tutorial, I thought I would show you how the chords sound uh, and how to create this. Now, previously I had a spider merger. Now the problem is that I didn't find anything that was merging with it, so I just took it out. So these are the trance chords, and let me actually drag them over here so we can see them better. And the chords are basically multi-oscillators just synced together, and it's super easy to create, but the impact on this is very, very, very large. So I'll play a little bit of the demo example again, and then we'll get into it. So have a listen. So that's the trance chord 3 we're going to be making. So for now, I'm going to go to my Reason, I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to drag up my mixer, drag down my sequencer. I'm going to right click, and just like in all my videos, I always say, control click can give you this menu as well. So I'm going to go to my utilities and create a combinator. In this combinator, I'm going to right click in this little space here. So every time I say right click, you can control click. Anyways, we go to our instruments and we go to 4. Now, if you don't have this initialized patch, what you can do is you can go to the preferences, and for the, let's see, empty rack, that's right. Value tip, I think it's in here, but I'm not sure where it is. But you can have it to where there should be a button in here. Cable animation, empty rack, multi-core. Oh, yeah. It says load default sound in new devices. And instead of checking that, you want to check that off. So that way, whenever you create a new instrument, it'll come blank. So that's how you do that. So for our patch, we're going to turn our oscillators, all of our oscillators, to multi-oscillators. So 1, 2, and 3. We're going to change, actually that's it. That's basically all there is to it. Except for our first oscillator, we want to turn up the amount distortion. I think it's like 36 or 32. 32 should be good. And okay, we also want all of our oscillators to go out through the first filter, so I'm actually going to bypass this. We don't need that filter. For our second oscillator, we want to turn up the amount to 32. Do that on all of these. And for our second oscillator, we also want the very last waveform. Let's see if I can zoom in. This waveform right here. Let's see. Okay. And we also want to pitch it up an octave. Same thing for the third one, pitch it up an octave. And let's see. For our first oscillator, we want it to be random 2, random 1 for our second, and for our third, we want to change this to octave. And that should do it for our synth. Yep, that's our synth right there. So after this, I'm gonna right click. Don't need to show programmer anymore. Right click, RV7000. Gonna create that. We want to turn the dry wet and the decay both to about 20. After this, we're going to create a line 6 bass amp to squash your signal down. Turn on the compressor. That's all we need to do for that. After this, I'm going to go to my creative effects and choose Scream 4 distortion. For the damage, control, we're going to change that to about 40. And for our type of distortion, we're going to change it to tape. We want P1 and P2 all the way. And we don't need the body or the cut, so that's perfect where it is. After this, I'm going to create an MC class equalizer. After the equalizer, we're going to create a soft tube saturation knob. This is a rack extension. It's free if you have Reason 6.5. After this, we're going to create a MC class equalizer. I'm sorry, maximizer, MC class maximizer, and a line 6 bass amp after the maximizer. So for our EQ, we want to turn on low cut, parameter 1, parameter 2, and high shelf. For parameter 1, we want to take this to about 188 Hertz. Then we want the gain all the way down and the Q all the way up. For our second parameter, we want to hit the highs a little bit harder, so we're going to boost this up to 2.585 kilohertz. Gain down, Q all the way up. For the high shelf, we're going to take this down to 3000 kilohertz. We're going to boost the gain about 2.3 and the Q to 0.5. For the saturation, we want to keep this on high, and we want to turn it to 1.7. After this, the maximizer, we want to take off limiter, turn our release to auto, and our soft clip, make sure it's turned on to 127. After this, just turn on the compressor, and there you guys have it, super cheesy trance chords. Now, if you notice when I play a few examples, it sounds a little bit harsher. If you don't want this attack, this pluck in the first beginning, you turn up the attack on the amp envelope inside of Thor. I usually play C major and C minor chords when doing examples. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another crazy adventure.